everybody, welcome to my channel. It's Brooke with Bettering Brookster. I am in the start of week 4. This is not my week 3 update. It's actually an update on an experience that I had, but I am starting week 4 feeling pretty well. My esophagus spasms have really started to lessen. I still get them most every day, but they're not as painful where I feel like my chest is just, I almost felt like I was having a heart attack the first time I experienced it. And it's not like that now. It's just a little bit of a tight chest, like maybe I had done too much bench press or something. So it's gotten a whole lot better. It just kind of, it hurts through here a little bit. When it tightens, it kind of, it like feels like it's pulling everything in. But it is getting better. The doctor did keep me off work an extra week because of that, because they said they normally subside in about 4 weeks. I'm going to go back to work in 3 days from now, so it'll be like about 3 weeks and 3 days when I return to work. But anyway, an experience that I recently had about a week ago. I was on soft food, so cottage cheese, yogurts, puddings, things like that. And I thought, well, I'm going to branch out. I'm going to have some cottage cheese. I had eaten it a few days before. Everything went fine. I ate about 2 ounces. I typically anything that I eat, I take in 2 ounces. Well, this day I took in 2.5 ounces, maybe 3 ounces. It was just in a little 4-ounce bowl, but I didn't fill it near the top. But it was probably a little bit over half. And I was outside just hanging out with some friends, and I just slowly was chewing on that. And before, I would never have thought about how well I was chewing cottage cheese, but I was very careful with it. I chewed and chewed and chewed, like pureeing it in my mouth almost. And I ate all 2.5, 3 ounces, whatever was in that little itty-bitty bowl. And I felt pretty good, you know. I went over to another friend's house just right around the street. And we were all just kind of hanging out on their porch looking at their new area that they had done. And about 30 minutes of that, I decided I'd start drinking some water because, you know, we've got to wait 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after before we can drink. And when I took my first sip of water, I was like, ugh, I don't feel well. I had this fullness, like starting like right at my clavicle all the way down to like, I would say between my breast. Near the upper part of my rib cage, and it just was a fullness, and I felt like I need to burp, but I felt like if I were to belch that I was going to actually physically get sick. And this went on for like 30 minutes, and Wade was like, well, do you need something to drink, my husband? And I was like, no, drinking seemed to be making it worse. And I was like, I feel like I just need to physically get sick, and then once I do that, I feel like I'm going to be fine. And I kept sitting there, and I would get up and walk around a little bit, and that would kind of calm it down. Well, then finally, after about, 45 minutes to an hour of this feeling, I finally did get sick. But it wasn't the normal sickness that, there was no food in my sickness. It was just, to be very graphic, it just looked like spit or like a sink full of sudsy water. It was just a little bit too. It was probably 1.5 ounces would be my guess. It was not, it was just like a huge spit wad that came out of my mouth. And I don't know if that's from the buildup of a spit in our esophagus or what. Well, I had heard of Foamies before that, but I had never really known how it would feel. So if you are post-op, or even if you're pre-op and you're just wanting to know what a foamy is, it feels really fullness through here, kind of a little tightness, and you feel like you need to burp. And every time I felt like I needed to burp, I was like, oh, I'm going to get sick. Oh, I'm going to get sick. So I did. I got up and walked around, and we were outside. And so after a little bit of that walking around, I finally did upchuck, I guess is the best word, but it wasn't food. It was just the foamies. So if you have that experience, don't freak out. It's very normal. I've read a whole lot about it since I experienced it, and it's very common. It's more common with sleeve patients, but us that have had RNY can have the exact same experience. So Don't freak out about it if it happens to you. Anyway, this is not my week 4 update. This is, my week 3 update. This is just a notification of what foamies are, what I experienced with them, because that was the first time I'd ever experienced it. I just kind of wanted you guys to be aware of how it felt in case you experience it. So anyway, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more of me, please subscribe. But don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know every time I post a video. Appreciate the love and support that all of you guys have given me since my surgery and before. If you want to hear any certain type of video, or if there's an experience that you want to know about, leave me a comment so I'll know some videos that you guys are interested in seeing. Appreciate you guys. Bye.